After a long winter away, NASCAR Cup Series action is back this weekend with the Cookout Clash at the Bowman Gray Stadium in North Carolina. I think this is the first time that we've had a NASCAR event of any kind taking place at this track since the early 1970s. I'm sure I saw a stat that said it's been the first time since 1971 that this has been included. It's something that has been very much on the cards for some time now. Now I'm going to preview this event and explain what it is as well, because it is not the start of the Cup Series season proper. And what I mean by that is that this is a non-championship event. It will not have any bearing on the standings. There will be no points handed out for this, but it is essentially a warm-up event, just like the warm-up event we have in Daytona before this as well. But this is obviously as well, on top of that, a proper warm-up that everybody will compete in. The duel at Daytona is effectively basically to determine who is going to get through and race at the Daytona 500 later that week. But yeah, this is a really big one. This is a really big one. We've got pretty much a full entry list here, a full roster of NASCAR Cup Series drivers. Like I said, this is a non-championship event. It will have no bearing on the championship, just like the All-Star race throughout the season as well. That has no bearing on the championship either. So let's go into 5 drivers I'm looking out for, because at the end of the day, there's been a few changes in NASCAR, a few drivers coming in, a few older drivers, of course, returning full-time as well. So I'm very excited to see them in 2025 for the first time for this warm-up event. And the first guy that I'm going to highlight is, of course, the Dinger himself, AJ Allmendinger, back in the Cup Series full-time for 2025. He's been around forever as the Dinger. I absolutely love AJ. I want to see him do well around this track. He does tend to do better around actual like road courses and stuff. He doesn't do quite as well around ovals, but he'll just want to keep his nose clean, and just get used to the car, get used to driving full time in the Cup Series. Of course, he did make some appearances last season as well, but this is his first time actually being in the car in Cup Series trim properly for an entire season since, I believe, 22 or 23. It's been a few years since he's been out anyway. So yeah, I'm very happy to see him back in the Cup Series, and I'm also happy to see in the Cup Series for the first time as well Shane Van Gisbergen. And I say first time, I mean first time as a full-time driver. Someone who's very, very excited. Of course, he won on debut in Chicago a couple seasons ago. He was very unfortunate as well with the way it ended last year too. He's a guy who's been making waves as well in the Xfinity Series. He's someone who I'm really, really excited to see full-time in the Cup Series. I'd love to see if he can make the playoffs, and I want to see what he can do around an oval as well. He's, again, another driver that's stronger around of the road courses, but SVG is somebody I really, really rate highly. I think he's a superb talent, and I can't wait to see him in this event as well. Just to warm up for the season. Our first full season in the Cup Series too. A long, long way for the first Cup Series season for Kyle Busch. He's another guy who's been around for a long, long time. Of course, we know how unfortunate it was for him last season, missing out on the playoffs, never quite really there. I mean, he was so close to victory and getting into the playoffs at different points of the season, but very disappointing season from him, of course, on the whole. And he'll be hoping for a lot better in 2025 too. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him. I want to see what he can do. I want to see him get a win again this year. I want to see him get a victory again. It's been a long, long time. So yeah, I want to see what he can do, and I'm excited to see him around this event as well. Austin Cindric. Now, there's quite a few drivers from North Carolina, of course, being from the southeast in America, the deep south as it were. Despite this being in North Carolina, it's still very much the south. And one of the local drivers I'm highlighting is Austin Cindric. Now, I'm highlighting Cindric because he's a guy who only just got into the playoffs last time around, and he just made waves. He just made absolute waves in that championship. Really got out of the traps very quickly. I think he made it through to the final 12 and didn't go any further after that. But he's a guy that I'm really seeing improving year on year, and I want to see what he can do this season for Penske, of course, as well. And the final driver I'm highlighting are totally not controversial champion Joey Logano from last season. Obviously, yeah, a lot of changes need to happen when it comes to the playoff system. It's still going to be the same this time around, and of course, Logano's full advantage of it last year. But in this warm-up event, let's see what he can do. Let's see what Logano can do around this event, and let's see what all the guys can do. It's going to be a really, really good race. I'm hoping just no major incidents. It's good to see us back in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, for this event. So yeah, let us know, guys. Are you tuning in for this event this weekend? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Who's your pick for the win? I'll just say someone I've not said so far. Let's go with Kyle Larson. Why not? You know, I feel like he was the best driver throughout most of the season last season. I don't think that's a controversial opinion at all, and I want to see him get a championship again this time out in NASCAR Cup Series. So yeah, see you soon, guys. Have a good one. Have a great weekend. And of course, we'll be here to review all this action here on the NASCAR Chronicle. It'll be Monday morning my time. So by the time you guys are up and awake on Monday morning in America, it'll be already out then. So yeah, stay tuned for that. See you soon.